This video is made possible by EA Creator Network. Thanks EA for inviting me to the preview event. What is up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new video. Today I decided to make a sniper tutorial. I'm gonna be talking about which sniper is the best, how to use them properly, what are the right sensitivities, what to do in close range sniping, which game modes are the best, what not to do, when to shoot, how to practice your player pacing and attachments. I'm gonna try to make the tutorial kind of short-ish because there's a lot of topics. I don't want to make it too long. So yeah, I'm going through it pretty quickly. If you have questions in the comments, definitely feel free to ask them. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. So first of all, what's important with sniping is that it just requires practice. There's no way to get good at sniping instantly. I have a ton of hours on Battlefield 1 and 5 sniping. Like, it's probably over 2,000 hours of just sniping in both games combined. And then I used to be a Call of Duty sniper actually before that. So I've done some practice. Not that the Call of Duty sniping is somewhat representable, but you know where I'm coming from. So the first topic is which sniper is the best. We have 3 snipers available so far, which is the DXR1, the SWS-10, and the NTW50. Now, in most cases, the NTW50 will be the overall best sniper because it one-shot body shots. The SWS, it is pretty good, but the bullet speed is quite slow, so that like requires a lot of practice. And the good middle way is the DXR1 because the bullet speed is quite fast, so it's like pretty easy to get headshots with. So for me, the ranking would be NTW50 first, DXR1 second, and the SWS-10 last. This is also like how hard they are to use. Like the NTW50 is pretty easy to use compared to the SWS-10. Now, what you see in a lot of montages or whatever is how people use them, and it's very aggressive most of the time. When in reality, this doesn't always work. The players who you see play like that are extremely good at sniping, and people want to replicate that when it's not the right way to get into sniping. Sure, if you're able to do that, do it 100%. But snipers are more used in a more defensive, passive way. Make sure you're behind cover. It doesn't mean you have to camp in the back of the map. You just have to slow your pacing down because you only have one shot at the time. It's hard to take out multiple targets that know where you are if you're in medium range combat. So you have to be smart about your positioning and don't be too aggressive with them. With the right sensitivity, it's a little bit different. Because I've seen snipers that are really good on low sensitivities or high sensitivities. It kind of depends what you like to use. I recommend something that is not too high, and as long as you can track people, so when people are like moving from left to right or like horizontally pretty much, you have to be able to keep up with them, otherwise your sensitivity is too low. I wouldn't recommend going too high because obviously you want to be precise with snipers going for headshots. So try and find the middle way, but you should at least be able to track players. For close range sniping, if you got to the place where you're in a building or whatever, which you need close range sniping and there are people nearby, use your pistol. Either you can use the NTW50, which is good for pre-aiming, and you can get body shots with that sniper, but the other ones you have to get headshots with. So either you need to pre-aim, you know, hallways or whatever, and be at their headshot height, or just be ready to pull out your pistol, very simple. It's not a situation you want to be in as a sniper, but you can't really push. In close range situations, you don't want to be the player who is pushing, you want to be a little bit more passive. The best situations is where you can like pre-aim something, you get a hit mark, a body shot, quickly switch to your pistol and then finish them off. but pre-aiming is the way to go because the ADS speeds are quite slow. You can rely on no scopes, but you shouldn't. So yeah, the best game modes, by far the best game mode to play is Breakthrough. The reason for that is that with Breakthrough you can control your own pacing very much, and you have much more control over your positioning because there's an attacking side coming from one angle and a defending side coming from the other angle. So try to, for Breakthrough you can, the enemies are a lot more predictable, so you know where to position yourself, you know where enemies are going to be pushing more often, while in Conquest this can be a little bit more random. So 100% try to focus on Breakthrough more than Conquest. It will be an easier experience because everything is a little bit more predictable, so you can take more time to position yourself properly. So there's two things you do not want to do as a sniper, and that's to stand still, because your number one target as a sniper, or your number one enemy, I should say, as a sniper, are other snipers. Especially in Battlefield 5, where the headshot hit registration was extremely big. It's a little bit smaller in 2042. But the moment you stood still, you were pretty much dead, because there was always a sniper looking from a weird angle, just waiting for you to stand still. So only stand still when you know there's an enemy and you have to take a shot, obviously. While sniping, you don't want to be moving, by the way. So if you're taking an actual shot, you have to stand still. This is important, otherwise your shots won't register properly, and your shots will act a little bit weird. So when you take your shot, do stand still, but otherwise keep it moving. You see a lot of good snipers, when they like try to analyze an area, they kind of, they AD spam, which, if you don't know, is you move from left to right like very quickly. It's very small movement, but this makes it a lot harder to get headshotted, or to get sniped in general. The other thing you don't want to do is be ADS'd for too long. What people forget often is you have scope glints in this game, but you have one as well. And some snipers seem to forget that. You'll see them being ADS'd across the map, and instead of challenging those players, you should just take cover, obviously. But try to avoid ADSing for longer than needed, because you gotta keep in mind that you have a scope glint as well, which works on 3x scopes as well, I'm pretty sure. Alright, the next one is when to shoot. It's very important in this game that you know when to shoot. One, this is because you appear on the minimap once you actually shoot, unless you're using a silencer. So if you shoot, you have to make sure that, especially like in the close range combat scenarios, you're gonna hit your shot. Otherwise, people are gonna like push you hardcore and you're pretty much dead. So be sure to know when to shoot. For long range, you can try a little bit more to take more shots. Obviously, it's going to be harder to hit the target, so you might have to use more shots. But in close and medium range, you have to think very well when to shoot and when not to shoot enemies. Sometimes, if it's a really hard target and you're not sure to hit them and there's multiple enemies around, let that target go instead of trying to shoot. It could save your life and you can, continue this streak. Now, how to practice snipers. You have 3 snipers and they all work a little bit differently. So I always suggest people to use one sniper for a while. Don't switch between too much, and learn the bullet speed. So when people are in a long distance, you know where to shoot to get a headshot. Also with certain scopes, there's a lot of different scopes and they will all react a little bit differently. You'll all have to adjust to them a little bit differently. So be sure to use one sniper, preferably the same type of scope. Obviously this kind of depends on the map you're playing. But yeah, try to stick to something. Once you kind of master it, move on to something new, and so on. But switching between snipers can be quite a challenge, especially when people are strafing, so like moving from left to right or right to left. If you're using a different sniper with different bullet speed, you're gonna misjudge the distance where to shoot a lot. and you kind of prevent this if you use the same sniper over and over, so you know where to shoot. So for player pacing, I already kind of talked about this, but be the passive player. You don't want to be the guy pushing in, but do not camp in the back of the map. The reason why you shouldn't camp in the back of the map, because this is the worst way to practice sniping. You will always kind of be trash at the game, to be completely honest. But try and be around teammates. You cannot be a lone wolf as a sniper. This will be quite difficult. So one, do not camp in the back of the map. You're also very useless for your team. And you're pretty much just laying down scope glint most of the time. And two, do not be the most aggressive player on your team. Try to find that middle pacing. Try to surround yourself with teammates that are pushing in so you can help out. But do not try to push buildings or stuff like that. Always keep your distance there a little bit. And try to stay away from close range combat. Now attachments, I haven't unlocked all attachments yet or see what they do, so I will be making a video about this later. Once I made this video, I'll be linking it in the comment section on this video. So if you see this video right now and it's not in the comment section yet, then you know that video will eventually come, and once it's there, it will be in the comment section here. If you guys enjoyed the video and if it was slightly helpful, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and again, if you have questions, put them down in the comments. I'll try to answer them below. Hopefully this video was kind of helpful, and hope to see you guys on the battlefield.